All right, everybody, are we ready for the next day's worth? We're going to do the letter V. I know some of you are very excited to learn the letter V, like volcano. So if you would open your book, please, to page 82 in your handwriting book. Make sure you're there. Make sure you have a sharp pencil. It is very important. Boy, I'm seeing a lot of V's. They go with very volcano. Make sure you're on page 82, and then we're going to get started. So let's look at what we've been doing. We've been learning this over curve stroke. We had it in the ends, and then when we learned M, when we learned Y, and then when we learned X. Let's review this together. So would you take your pencil, hold up your pencil pointers. We are going to trace this. Be sure you're not tracing on the screen, only in the air. So when we have our N, we have, let's do it together, over curve slant, over curve slant, under curve. Cool, huh? All right, let's do the next one. Over curve slant, over curve slant, over curve slant, under curve. Are you making sure that even when you're pretending to do it, that you are in between the lines correctly? You need to stay up above the red line as much as you can, and underneath. We don't need to go all over the place. We'll make the people who are reading our writing very confused. We want our writing to be legible, readable. All right, let's do this Y. We have over curve slant, under curve, finish like a J, the letter Y. Okay, then we learned about the X. The X, we said, is pretty simple because it starts the same way as the Y. We have over curve and under curve, pick up and cross. Nice job. So we need to make sure that we're keeping track of those. And if the X is in the middle of a word, we don't go back to cross it till we get done with the whole word, just like we do with the I's and with the T's. So we need to make sure we're doing that correctly. Today, we get to do the letter V. It's very exciting, especially for those who have a V in their name. So let's look at your book right now. I see the V at the top of the page with a very cool volcano. We see how the lava is coming up from the explosion. Remember, when it's inside the earth, what's it called? Do you remember? Magma. And then once it comes out, it is called lava, and we see it's coming down. So the volcano is pretty cool there. Pretty cool there. So let's look at the letter V in your book in the big blue box at the top of the page. Notice how this starts. Does this look familiar? It looks very much like the Y and the X at the beginning. Do you see that? So let's see what we can do out of it here. We can do with this. Make sure your book is tilted. Make sure you've got that. If you're a righty, the right side of your paper goes up. If you are lefty, the left side will be up more. So make sure you're doing that. You need to sit up straight, put your feet on the floor, especially for this. You need to find a place where you can do that. The letter V is not difficult. Let me show you why I think it's not difficult. And then you can tell me if you think it is. We're going to start on the red line, the bottom line. We're going to do an over curve and an under curve and a check stroke. That's it. Check stroke just like you do for some of the other letters. Can you remember the letters that we do the check stroke for? We do it for the O and the W, right? We do it for the V. Let's try it again. Put your pencil pointers up and try it with me. We have over curve, slant under curve, check stroke. Not very difficult. One more time up here, and then we'll see how it goes. Make sure you're not picking up your pencil in the middle of a letter or in the middle of a word. All right, so I want you to look at your page 82. There are 3 rows of practicing the V's. The one row, you're going to trace it, and then there are 2 words for you to practice, and I want you to find your best V on each line and circle that. Go ahead and pause the video, and then whenever you're done with those lines, come back and restart it again, and we'll talk about the next part. Alrighty, let's talk about joinings. Now, just like the check stroke makes some joinings weird, like with the O and with W, sometimes with the V, it's a little bit weird. So we need to be really careful with these, and we have to think through the letters as we write them. Notice the first one, we have VY. VY, can you think of a word that might have a VY at the end of it? That's probably where it would be. I can sneak down at the bottom of the page. If I look at the bottom of the page, I see the word envy. Envy, like jealousy. Envy has a VY in there. Even the word ivy, maybe somebody's name is Ivy, or you see ivy growing on houses or on windows. VY goes there. Now let's talk about this up here and see why we connect it the way we do. So we have a V written here. Let's put up a Y and see how it would be this way. So if I go like this and down, up. Well, I'm not going to have this here because I'm not going to pick up my pencil in the middle of it. So I'm going to erase that. There you go. There's a VY together. That's why it's written like that. No, this is a thinking combination. You have to think through this one. Let's do a V first together. We have overcurve, slant undercurve, check stroke. Now we're at the top of the Y, just like this. Then we finish our Y, just like we would. Looks kind of funny, but it makes perfect sense when you think about it, because here's your V and here's your Y. Put them together. Let's practice that on the board one more time together. So everybody, pencils, here we go. We're going to come up and down for the V, check stroke, we're at the top of the Y, slant, and then we finish it out. VY, putting it together. All right, let's look at the rest of these here. We have VA, VI. Those three all are at the beginning. So that seems to be pretty easy. Let's look at the OVE. OVE, I can think of it saying like grove, like a fruit trees are in a grove. Or OVE can say the sound like love or above. So we have OVE together. That one might be a little tricky. So let's practice it up here before you do it. When we have the O, of course, what do we have at the end of the O? A check stroke. Now we've got the V. What do we have at the end of the V? A check stroke. And then it goes into the E. Well, we can't possibly leave it like that. That would be just kind of silly. So let's see how we can combine that. Let's see here. I'm going to erase this line so we can make this easier. So we're going to start with the O. We have a check stroke, but we're going to go into the top of the V. Yup, look at that. Now we have another check stroke. Oh, we're going right into the E. Yeah, sometimes combining them is a little bit tricky, but if you think through them, you guys know this. You know how to combine them. Now we have to put on our thinking caps and do it while we're actually working on our handwriting. We have ove, I've, ave, and then three words, envy, very, and anybody know that last word? Yeah, visitor. Remember, don't pick up your pencil. You can do the whole word visitor without picking up your pencil. Also remember to trace before writing, because then your hand has a chance to get used to writing it that way. So trace it and then write it. Do your very best on this, and I'll see you later.